In this video, you're going to get a one-on-one interview with Jenny, a Mungo Homes rep right on site at Arcadia. Now, I'm going to get your juicy questions answered. Can you have fences? Are there breed or restrictions on pets? You know, can you put a pool in? All the things that a new construction buyer would want to know about the community of Arcadia. The important specific questions that you need to know the answers to. Plus, if you stay tuned until the end, guys, I'm going to do a builder incentives comparison. I'm going to show you some of the top builder incentives for new construction homes in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, so that you are well equipped and know what other people are getting, what incentives other buyers are landing in that new construction zone. Now hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into the video now. If you're thinking about buying a new construction home in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, this video could completely change where and how you buy. Purchasing new construction is all about the deal, and having a solid buyer's broker could be the difference in you building wealth with many of your fellow Americans, or making a decision that costs you thousands from day one. Because not all new communities are the same. Builder incentives vary, financing options differ, some neighborhoods hold value better than others, and the amenities that actually matter to everyday homeowners can change from one community to the next. In this series, we're taking you inside new construction communities across Myrtle Beach and the Grand Strand, from coastal neighborhoods to fast-growing inland areas, so you can see how they really compare before you make a decision. We'll break down builder incentives, lot purchase and resale strategy, new construction versus resale comparables, and work through your floor plan resale potential. Not only will you see the out-of-pocket expenses to purchase the property, but you'll also get a full breakdown of your first year annual home expenses. We'll take a tour of the on-site amenities, and I'll show you local points of interest that will impact your daily life, like schools, shopping, golf, restaurants, grocery stores, medical, and even highway infrastructure. But we're not just talking about this from a desk. You'll hear directly from on-site sales agents inside each community as I interview them as your buyer's broker, paired with on-location video so you can actually see the homes, feel the neighborhood, and understand the pace and personality of each area. We'll compare communities side by side in each area so that you can see how this community stacks up against the rest of the market, and decide if you can get a better deal elsewhere or if the premium you're paying is really worth the cost. Remember, the biggest wealth builder many Americans have is their primary home. And I'll help you size up this deal to ensure that you'll be able to resell this new construction home, keeping hard-earned money for you and your loved ones. Whether you're a first-time buyer, VA and FHA buyer, growing family, upsizer, newlywed couple, second home buyer, investor looking for a stable new construction rental property, or a retiree, I'll help you find the best community that meets not only your needs, but also positions you for long-term value and resale. By the end of this video, you won't just know what's being built, you'll understand why some communities stand out, which ones fit your budget and lifestyle, and where buyers are getting the most value today so that they can make the most at resale. So whether you're relocating, upgrading, downsizing, buying your first home, or planning for the future here in Myrtle Beach, this series will give you the clarity and confidence to make a smart move. Guys, we're on site today right here with Jenny Docking for Mungo Homes. We're about to take a quick tour of the Warwick II.
Yep.
Jenny is going to treat me like a buyer so that you guys get all your questions answered.
Right this way.
So, Jenny, I'm walking in. Where do I start? I'm a first-time buyer. I've never bought new construction ever. It's my first time ever visiting Mungo Homes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to me?
All right, so this is a Warwick II. This is our Vanguard product for Mungo. So this is going to be a little bit more of our luxury product line. As you see, you've got some nice finishes, some judges panels, trim upgrades. The glass door, you can do an 8-foot door as well. High ceilings, wood stair treads. You can do LVP, spindles, all the things, right? So this is a little upgraded for what you might see with a lot of new home builders in Myrtle Beach.
I believe timing the market matters just as much as picking the home. Understanding end of quarter and end of year builder pressure, knowing when to target inventory homes versus to be built opportunities, and recognizing early phase versus late phase pricing can dramatically change your outcome. I believe financing is where deals are truly won or lost. Interest rate differences, temporary versus permanent buy downs, choosing the right loan type like VA, FHA, or conventional, and knowing when to use lender credits versus builder lender incentives can impact your payment for more than the purchase price. I believe when all of these elements are aligned correctly, you're not just buying a home, you're engineering a deal that works for you on day one and positions you to win again at resale. All right, so let's get your community-specific questions answered about Arcadia. Can we have fences here?
Yes, you can have fences. Privacy fence on something that is not on the pond is allowed. 6-foot white vinyl. On the pond, you're going to do the black 4-foot aluminum picket style.
Super cool. And can I have pets?
You may have pets, yes.
Is there a limit?
Actually, I think there is a limit.
Like 3 pets?
I think it's 3.
Yeah,
3 dogs, and then there's
3
really
dogs.
Yeah,
Nope.
but no breed restrictions.
Oh wow! So I could have 3 50-pounders.
Sure.
Okay, let's go.
No farm animals.
No farm animals. You can't have a pig. You can't have a horse. Now, construction process. Generally, somebody walks in, they are, they're wanting to build something from the ground up. They want all the bells and whistles. Kind of walk us through that process. How long does that take? And what happens initially? Do they pay a deposit? How does that stuff work?
Sure. So if you're wanting to build and customize, you're going to pick a home site that you like, pick a floor plan. You go to contract on your structural upgrades. So I want a Warwick II and all the changes inside, the type of sunroom or bathroom count, bedroom count, bonus rooms, all those things. And you go to contract. We usually ask for 5% down, and within 21 days, you're going to the design center to pick all the fun stuff inside: cabinets, colors, exterior colors, inside colors, flooring, everything.
So, and this is just me talking here. Unlike D.R. Horton, which is more of a production builder where they have some customization, here there's a lot more customization. A whole lot more. And they actually have their own design center that is off-site that you go to pick everything. And we're talking about finishes. I mean, like, you name it, right? Can you kind of describe
flooring? You can do LVP, which is so popular. We have 3 levels of that. Carpets, we have 4 levels of that. Wood floors, tiles, 3 levels of tiles, backsplashes, anything you want, we probably have it.
Wow, super cool.
And the build time, when you're doing that whole process, you're right about 5 months. So.
5 months, 5 months. Okay, now upgrades. What are the most popular upgrades you're seeing people do?
Really, most people are leaning towards LVP almost throughout the whole home, except maybe secondary bedrooms. Wood stair treads on the stairs. We now have LVP stair treads as well if you have a dog with big nails.
Yeah.
And then lots of different finishes on the metals, lighting, faucets, all those things. Tile showers. We have a huge spa shower, freestanding soaker tubs, a lot of upgrades in the bathroom area.
Yeah. And if you had to guess, like, what do you see the average buyer spending on upgrades?
Right about $45,000.
I was gonna say $50,000. Yeah. So, all right, wonderful. So upgrades are a very real thing that they can do here. You guys obviously offer some pretty customized options. Your construction time is about 5 months. Now they can buy something that's already built, right?
Yep.
Is there advantages to that?
Yes. So we're standing in front of a Warwick II that happens to be for sale.
Come on, guys.
It's moving ready.
Pick up that phone. It's 843-360-1010. 1737. I will be your buyer's broker and help you buy this home right here.
Yep, exactly.
Now, this is how much?
This is $574,900.
Yep.
We've got finance incentives because it's move-in ready with our lender, Silverton Mortgage.
Can you go into any of that?
I could talk about it on this particular home.
Okay,
sure.
Sure.
Yeah. So this particular home, if you go with Silverton Mortgage, my lender, and my attorney, you would get 4.99% interest rate for conventional or VA primary space, right?
Wow.
And then $5,000 in closing costs.
Look at that, guys. Now, compared to a resale home, you're not getting that. It's not happening, like, at all. In other words, you're going to be able to afford a lot more home by buying a new construction home as opposed to buying a resale home at 7%. Talking about 2% difference. So huge. Plus, they're paying your closing costs, which is, another $5,000 you're keeping in your pocket. You know what I mean? So if you're looking between new construction and resale, from how it looks to me, except for if you hunt down the right deal on a resale property, 9 times out of 10, you're going to win with a new construction home because the deal financially is just a whole lot better for you. I believe the difference between an average deal and a great one is rarely the price. It's how you structure incentives, optimize financing, control timing, and ultimately protect your resale. I believe great buyers aren't focused on small price reductions. They're leveraging closing cost credits, rate buydowns, free upgrades or premiums, and lot fee reductions to create immediate and long-term financial advantage. Now, here are my top 5 picks for new construction communities in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Your first 3 communities, Waterbridge, Crescent Cove, and Arcadia, are all going to be upper tier new construction. Clear Pond by Meritage Homes is going to be a mid-tier new construction community, and then Arbonne Woods by D.R. Horton is going to be a low-tier new construction community. Now, Waterbridge, this is a premier gated community with resort-style amenities, strong resale demand from lifestyle buyers, and a track record of upper-tier appreciation. Crescent Cove is going to be a newer Pulte-built home with modern floor plans, competitive buyer incentives, improving entry value because those incentives are phenomenal. They're the best on the board, and broad buyer appeal for resale liquidity. Remember, the neighborhood you buy in, that's going to determine how liquid that home is in the future, how many days on the market it sits. Arcadia, now this is affordable entry into a growing area. It's got functional layouts ideal for primary and rental use, and a steady appreciation tied to its location near expansion corridors. Clear Pond is going to be a balanced mid-tier pricing with solid community amenities, reliable builder quality, and consistent resale performance across multiple buyer segments. And then finally, Arbonne Woods, lowest price point for new construction, strong affordability attracting many first-time buyers, and it's got upsell potential as surrounding development matures. It's out there in Conway. It's a little bit more inland, but as that area grows, and it is growing, it is booming with new construction, you can be sure that you'll see some appreciation out in the Conway area. That's my top picks for new construction right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. If you're still early in the process, start by watching a few more of these community breakdowns. Then when you're ready, we'll build your strategy together. And if you want to make sure you're not overpaying, missing incentives, or choosing the wrong community, reach out. I'll help you compare the entire market and structure a deal that works for you and not the builder. Call me now at 843-360-1737 and let's map out your strategy the right way. I cannot wait to talk about top new construction builder incentives in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Now, let's jump right into it. D.R. Horton, we've got paid closing costs between $6,000 and $12,000. Always, it depends on the deal. It depends on the timing. Is the property built already? Is the property under construction? Those are some of the factors that you're going to see at play here between your interest rate and your closing costs. So a home that's already constructed, you're going to get a better deal on. They want to move that fast. A home that has to be built from the ground up, well, you're probably not going to get as good of a deal. Now, there's a range there. Paid closing costs, $6,000 to $12,000. Interest rate starts as low as 3.99%, going up to that plus or minus stands for the current market rate. Now, there are no other incentives that I'm aware of after interviewing and talking with D.R. Horton reps. Now, Pulte homes, $10,000 to $14,000 in paid closing costs, 3.99% interest to the going rate. Now, other incentives is between $20,000 and $40,000 off the ask price. I cannot wait to dig deeper and to unlock some insights for you here on these builder incentives. Now, Mungo Homes, you've got $3,500 to $5,000 in paid closing costs. Your interest rate starts at a 4.99 to the going market rate. They are higher on the interest rate than both D.R. Horton and Pulte. That's Mungo Homes. And then there were no other incentives with Mungo Homes. Now, finally, we've got Meritage Homes. We've got paid closing costs to the tune of $5,000. Your interest rate as low as 4.99% to the going market rate. And they do free appliances, which I thought was really, really cool. They take care of all your appliances to include your washer and dryer. Yeah, not bad. Now, let's dig in and go a little bit deeper. Number one, don't chase the rate alone. Look at the total incentive value. We got multiple builders offering as low as 3.99% interest rates. So rate is becoming less of a differentiator between the new construction builders. The real spread is in your closing cost, it's in your price reductions, and the other incentives or extras that you can pull off in your deal. The takeaway here is that a 3.99% interest rate is great, but if one builder is giving you $30,000 off the price, that often beats a slightly better long-term rate. Now, number two, Pulte is hands down the most aggressive equity play on the table. $10,000 to $14,000 in closing costs, $20,000 to $40,000 off the ask price. This is the only builder here creating instant equity at purchase. Now, what this means for you as a buyer is it's going to have the lower loan amounts. It's going to be better. You're going to have better refinance flexibility later, and there's going to be stronger resale positioning. Now, the investor angle here is this is the closest thing to a buying below the market that you're going to find in new construction. I like this play a lot, if I'm honest with you. Out of all of these builders, me personally, I think you're getting the best deal here. Plus, they seem to be a pretty, they're more of a custom builder, which, if you've seen the videos, if you haven't seen the videos, you need to watch the videos and learn the differences between the different builders in our market. I think Pulte is winning on the deal, though. Now, number three, D.R. Horton is the best cash to close play. So for those of you with less money in your account and you're going to be tight bringing cash to the table, you might want to go with the D.R. Horton home. $6,000 to $12,000 in closing cost is huge. Competitive at that 3.99% rate. There's no flashy extras, but the takeaway is that it's a clean, simple, predictable deal. It's strong for buyers who want the lowest out-of-pocket upfront expenses. They want stable financing, but they have no need for added value beyond just the basics. If you want to come out of pocket with the least amount of money, D.R. Horton's your builder. Now, Mungo and Meritage, this is the middle ground, but weaker financially. It's not going to be the best deal. It's low closing cost. It's got a higher rate at 4.99%, and there's no extras. In my opinion, this is the weakest overall financial package on the table. Now, could one of these homes be the best value for you? Absolutely. If you find a lot of value in the product line that Mungo or Meritage produces, even though the numbers don't work out well for you, it might still be the best value for you. And those are things that we have to dive in and work through, the personal use value versus the financial deal, and kind of find out where your priorities are. If it's more important for you to get a perceived value that you have in a Meritage or a Mungo home, then it still might be a win for you, even though it's not the best deal. If you're more financially minded and your goals are more financial, or perhaps you don't have as much money to come out of pocket, a variety of factors, but if your priorities are more on the financial side, then Mungo and Meritage probably are out of the game for you. Now, Meritage, we've got a flat $5,000 closing rate with a 4.99% interest rate. We've got free appliances. Now, the appliances feel good emotionally for sure, but financially that's maybe $3,000 to $6,000 worth of value. You're effectively paying more monthly for a cosmetic perk. Let's call it what it is. Now, the hidden truth, builders are incentivizing differently based on strategy. Pulte, they're here to move inventory and discount that price. D.R. Horton keeps their pricing firm, but they support financing. And then Mungo and Meritage, minimal incentives. They rely on the product brand. The takeaway for buyers is you're not just choosing a house, you're choosing a builder's business strategy. You got to see it for what it is. Now, the smart buyer strategy, and this is where we really need to dig in. When you're comparing communities, your buyers should ask, what am I getting in exchange for the price I'm paying? And guys, I try to drive this home in my videos, which is why we compare different builders. It's why we look at resale value versus new construction. It's why we look at comparables. It's why we go in and say, all right, in this community, I'm getting a larger lot and better privacy, and I'm paying a little bit of premium compared to the rest of the market. But in this community, I'm not paying a premium. I don't have a larger lot. And then maybe as a buyer, you don't even care about a larger lot. Well, then it might be good for you to go with a lower tier new construction builder as opposed to a higher tier, because what you're paying for is worth it for you or not worth it for you. So you've got to always ask yourself, what am I getting in exchange for the price I'm paying? And so when you walk into a new construction community, you see that asking price, but we dig in deeper and look at things on a price per square foot basis and compare your home to the rest of the market so you can see where it sits and see if that premium is worth it. That's one of the things you've got to do. It's why you hire a solid buyer's broker to help you work through the nuts and bolts of not overpaying for what you actually value and want. Now, if one home is $10,000 more expensive, but another gives you $30,000 off up front, that's a $40,000 swing in your favor. Now, the bottom line is best upfront equity, Pulte. Best for lowest cash out of pocket, D.R. Horton. Best emotional perks, but weaker financially, Meritage. Weakest overall deal structure is going to be Mungo. Now, builder incentives can look similar on the surface, but when you break them down, the difference between these deals can easily be $20,000 to $40,000. That's why we don't just pick a house. We structure the best deal across the entire market. And it's why you hire a buyer's broker like me to run your numbers so that you can get the insights that you need to make a savvy decision when buying new construction in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Pick up the phone and give me a call. It's 843-360-1737.